Hi there, welcome to another video. My name's Tom and this is the Earth Stories YouTube channel where we talk about all kinds of outdoor and nature photography. Today I'm kind of excited because I've just taken delivery of a cool new piece of kit and it could be the future of my vlogging setup. So what is it? It's this, the new DJI Osmo Action camera. The question is this a viable solution as a vlogging camera? Well, that's what today's video is going to try and figure out. Let's go take it for a spin and I'll show you what I found out. So here it is, this is the Osmo Action. Its basic appearance is extremely similar to a GoPro. Now there's one really important thing to tell you that is the most useful similarity to the GoPro, and that is the fact that the cage for the Osmo Action uses the same mount as a GoPro. So all of your GoPro accessories will work with this camera. All your mounts, whether they're helmet mounts or mini tripods or anything like that, all of that old GoPro stuff that you've got can still be used with this camera. For me, that's a huge winner because that's a lot of accessories that I don't have to replace. Anyway, I don't want to so much show you a lot of this camera as actually record some stuff with this camera so you can see what the footage is like, what the audio is like. So let's switch over and we'll record the rest of this on this little thing. So there are 3 tests that I need this camera to be able to pass if it's going to become a viable vlogging camera for me. I can tell you straight away that it passes the first of those tests because its standout feature is that it has this front-facing screen, so I can actually see myself and frame myself while I'm recording, which I've never been able to do before. I can't tell you how much confidence that gives me as a vlogger to get that feedback through the front screen to be able to see myself, so that I know there's no weird shadows falling across me, I know there's nothing weird going on in the background of the shot, and that there's no danger that I might record a fairly long piece to camera and then suddenly discover there's a problem and have to re-record it all. The second test, which you can judge as I'm speaking now, is whether the native audio capabilities of the Osmo Action are up to scratch. And actually today's not a bad test because there is a fair little breeze blowing today, and I'm outside in a fairly open area. So as I'm speaking throughout this video, I won't do any changes in post to this audio. I'll make sure that you're hearing it as exactly as it was recorded in the camera. But it seems from the tests that I've done so far that the native audio recording of the Osmo Action is pretty good in all normal type outdoor situations. Third test that this camera needs to pass, of course, is stabilization. So to test that, let's get up and go for a walk. So a lot's been made about this Rocksteady Stabilization that DJI are using in this camera, and hopefully as I walk around now, I'm not being particularly careful how I hold the camera, but if you watch the background behind me, hopefully everything is fairly steady and you're not having an unpleasant viewing experience as I just stroll along. You can just hear the wind picking up again now, so this is a good test for the recording, see if the audio stays decent, because that was a little gust of wind there. So one of the other things you'll probably want to know about is what's the underwater performance of this camera like, because it's supposed to be water resistant with no other housing down to 11 meters. If only we had some way of testing that. Turns out we do. So I'll tell you what, let's chuck this in the swimming pool and see how it gets on. Okay, I'll be honest, if you think that I'm appearing with my shirt off in one of my own vlogs, then let me tell you, that is not going to happen, and you'll thank me for that. I mean, none of us need to see that. So in order to do a very quick test of recording underwater with the DJI Osmo Action, I have got my handy dive sticks that can act as a subject. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a couple of these into the pool. We'll lower the camera in on a tripod and we'll just see what the detail looks like on these from close up. Okay, so that was a really simplistic test, and I wanted to record some audio straight after the camera came out of the water, just so that you can hear what submersion in water does to the camera microphones, because I suspect it will just take a few seconds for that to clear. So you might have heard some slightly garbled audio there for a second, but hopefully, as I keep talking, it should sort itself out fairly rapidly. Okay, so we've done super quick just walk and talk with the camera so you can hear the audio. We've done a quick underwater test. What else do I need to tell you about this camera? Well, I guess there's just some small, kind of intangible but important things that are important that just work well on this camera. So other than the GoPro accessories thing that I mentioned, the other thing that's really welcome with this is the speed of startup. The camera turns on really quickly, literally 2 seconds and you're ready to shoot. And it's also got a dedicated quick start button on the side where you can configure your favorite settings. And you've got quite a number of those that you can program in. So again, if you want to get into a particular mode, if something happens and you want to jump into the HDR mode or the slow-mo mode, or perhaps you just want to switch between 24 frames a second and 60 frames a second shooting, you can do that really quickly without having to go into fiddly menus. And the final thing is, it just feels like DJI have made quite a few smart design decisions with this camera. In truth, my frustration with the GoPro Hero 6 was perhaps as much frustration with GoPro themselves as it was with that particular model of the camera, because I just didn't trust them to do the right things. I always found the interface slightly fiddly. The hardware always just had little things that annoyed and grated me about it. Now maybe I'll come to discover some of those things about the Osmo Action as well, but straight out the box I can tell you that DJI have solved a lot of those little things that used to annoy me about GoPro products. I'll give you one tiny quick example. The battery cover for the Osmo Action has a couple of little coloured tabs on it, so that when you clip the battery into place, when it's not entirely clipped into place, there's two little bits of orange that show you it's not properly clipped into place. And as soon as it is in place, those are no longer visible. So you get a little visual clue as to whether you've sealed the camera properly from the battery compartment. Just really simple, useful things like that that DJI have managed to do. So to sum up, my fundamental about using this as a vlogging camera is I think it's going to be brilliant. And I think if you don't own a GoPro Hero 7 and you want to vlog with an action camera, I'll be honest, I think this is a no-brainer. I think even if you've got a Hero 7, you might decide that the front screen itself is enough for you to want to change. But for sure, this is giving GoPro some very serious competition. And right now, there isn't anything better on the market than the Osmo Action. And I think it can really work for vloggers. So this was only ever just a very quick first test for you today. The real test is going to come next week. I am on my travels next week. I'm off to the Spanish island of Mallorca. I'm going to be doing lots of landscape photography there. So the Osmo Action is going to be coming with me. It is going to get used, so we'll see if this thing can really stand up to being a proper vlogging camera in different conditions, different lighting conditions, and in making more complicated vlogs. But I hope this first quick test was useful. Please hit the like button and do subscribe if you want to see more videos shot using the Osmo Action. And let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you'd like to know about this camera that I can tell you that I haven't covered here, because I'm more than happy to engage with people if they've got questions about it and they want to get it for themselves. So that's it for now. I probably won't put another vlog up now for about 10 days because I'm not going to do any editing while I'm away. I'm just going to record the vlogs. I'll edit them when I come back to the UK in about 10 days time. And so I will see you all then. In the meantime, take care, go safe.